This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop. Get real.
Welcome to DBL. We made it to Friday. I'm so grateful you're here with us. I got Al with me.
Yes.
Me, Tori. We got Lindsay joining us remote. My favorite people. Linz, how you feeling?
I feel good, guys. How you doing?
We're doing well, and of course,
all right.
Dr. Coley is here.
Hey,
It's lovely
Doc.
to see you. Now, as we've talked about it, there's a lot of confusion about the new CDC guidelines and the 5-day isolation period. Should you or should you not get tested? So now, even the American Medical Association is hitting back at the CDC saying, quote, the new recommendations on quarantine and isolation are not only confusing, but are risking further spread of the virus. This morning, the CDC director was on the Today Show. They asked her if the CDC had a credibility problem. Here's what the director had to say about it. Look.
We at the CDC are 12,000 people who are working 24/7, following the science with its ever-evolving nature in the midst of a really fast-moving pandemic. And we are doing so, putting our head down to keep America safe. We will continue to update. We will continue to improve how we communicate to the American public. This is fast-moving science.
All right, Doc, what's your take? Does the CDC have a credibility problem? Do I have a reading problem? Go ahead.
I think you do have a reading problem, and Dr. Jackson has that as well sometimes. But,
Thank you.
You know me.
but I have to tell you, you guys, I have been defending the CDC for the last 2 years, and you know that more than anyone else. But on this issue today, I have to say the CDC has now developed a credibility problem.
Ooh,
And
wow.
I think it is because they are not sticking to the science, unlike what Rochelle Walensky just said, because at 5 days, we just cannot lump everybody together, vaccinated, unvaccinated, regardless of how much exposure they had, regardless of how they're feeling. We cannot make everybody have the same rules. So I think that this new issue has really created a situation where people are starting to question the CDC, and that's a big problem we're going to
That's
have to
huge.
deal with.
Well, there's a lot of questions, so let's try and at least clear up some of the confusion. Let's start with the isolation period. Do you think that people should get tested after 5 days? And when does the 5 days period start?
Great question. 100% yes, they should get tested, because even though the majority of people at 5 days are probably unlikely to still be infectious, we know that about 25 to 30%, guys, that means 1 in 4 or 1 in 3 people may still be infectious at that 5 days. And the way that we've defined the 5 days is from day 0 being the first day that you have symptoms. So that's day 0. So really from symptom onset, not when you got exposed, not when you tested positive, but the first day that you felt any symptom at all. Now, the trick here is if you never had any symptoms at all, when would you define that day 0? Then it would be the day that you test positive.
Okay.
That's what I was going to ask Dr. Coley. For me, so it's been 5 days since I tested positive. I'm getting another test soon. Is it okay for me to leave isolation?
Not until you rub the lamp 3 times so you can leave.
You ask the genie for a negative test, Lindsay. You ask Robin Williams, rub the lamp and say, I wish for a negative test. And once you have a negative test, you can absolutely leave isolation. So it doesn't sound like you're having a lot of symptoms. But my concern is if you are one of those 25 to 30% of people, but you come back to work without a test, let's say, sitting right next to Al and Tori, you know, you guys are talking without masks and such, you could actually facilitate the spread of the infection. So when are you getting your test done?
I'm going today after work, actually. And then, you know, the PCR has been a little backed up, so hopefully I get my results before the end of next week.
Excellent.
And I'll just want to clarify one thing. To return to work, the CDC is actually saying you can use an antigen test. So you can also use a rapid test. Now, we know that's not as sensitive as the PCR, because if you have small amounts of virus, it won't, you know, pick it up. But it's probably enough to know whether or not you're giving off a lot of virus.
That's good to know.
And I just want to say this really quickly, Lindsay, we joke around a lot, but I really do, on behalf of our viewers and myself, we appreciate you being so transparent and just like doing this in real time with us, because you represent millions of people and we're learning through you. So we appreciate you being so clear with everything. So thank you. We're glad you're feeling okay. I love you, girl.
We appreciate your turtleneck too, Al. I'm sure Lindsay agrees.
Wow. I tried to have a moment,
that's a
and
very
that's what
chic turtleneck.
happens. That's what happens. I
But
try and
no,
open my
seriously,
arms and you guys hit me.
Sorry.
No, but seriously, I do feel comfortable sharing the story now because, like you guys all know, so many people are affected. Just over the last 3 weeks, I know like 10 people in different states that have coronavirus. So I think it's important to be honest and not like try to hide it or suppress.
Yes. Go ahead, Doc.
And Lindsay, I will say the COVID shame thing is real, you guys. There's so many people that feel like catching COVID or testing positive is a sign of some sort of failure or something that they did wrong. And I really want to dispel that because with the amount of virus that we have around right now, we cannot COVID shame people. We cannot make them feel bad if they test positive. It is a consequence of the circumstance that we're in and not necessarily their behavior.
I appreciate you saying that. That's an important part of the symptoms of this entire pandemic. Let's get to Omicron, Doc. When are you most contagious if you do catch Omicron? So if you're Lindsay, when are you most contagious? Did I just shame?
So Lindsay was most did she shame a little bit?
I didn't mean to
Lindsay?
shame at all. No.
It's all good.
So she was most contagious, guys, 2 days before the onset of symptoms. So 1 to 2 days before, and then 2 to 3 days after. So Lindsay, did you have any symptoms?
Well, I told you I had a stuffy nose, but I also have allergies. So if we count from that, then yeah, my nose was stuffy last week. But if we count from my positive test, that would be Monday.
So for a few days after the onset of symptoms, you're most contagious. About 75% of people are done by about day 5, but we know that some people, like I said, can continue to have symptoms or continue to have virus for about 10 days until the symptom onset.
Okay, so you're saying you're giving us the 10 days there. When can us as a population know when we're not contagious, like we're 100% sure that we're not contagious?
So Al, that 100% only comes with a negative PCR test because we don't yet know with Omicron how long that tail goes. Now, what we learned with earlier versions of the virus was that people can still test positive and not necessarily be contagious because some people were testing positive a month or 6 weeks after their initial infection, and it was viral fragments and not actual infectious virus around. With Omicron, we don't yet know that. So I would say the only way to know for sure is when you get a negative test. Now, if you're persistently testing positive 2-3 weeks after your symptoms, you need to talk to your doctor because you may not be contagious. You may just be one of those people that test positive for a long time.
All right. Well, thank you so much for clearing all of that confusion up for us, Dr. Coley. If you have a question you want answered by Dr. Coley, I should say, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. And again, no shame there at all. None.
Sounds like there's some shame with you just saying our show's name.
Is that turtleneck shaming you already? Coming up on DBL, Mike Rowe stopped by. You wouldn't believe this interview with Al and I. And you also won't believe what dirty job he'd love to do full time. But first, we are remembering Mr. Sidney Poitier, who sadly passed away. Stay with us.
Closed captioning provided by
What's up, guys? A lot of you writing in about your turtleneck. No, I'm kidding.
I want a couple.
You actually look really cute.
Well,
you look real good, and you're.
I want to talk to you about my theory I had. About Lydia, who's
This
holding
is
the
Lydia.
camera right now.
Say
She was also on the. That's not the Steadicam. What's
I
the
said
camera
she's
that
on that
doesn't move?
cam.
What's that big one? PED. Oh, okay.
PED?
PED. Oh,
Head cam.
Head cam. Okay.
Like pedestrian.
And Tori, you said, I can't believe that you're a person of all trades. You can do everything. And she said, I've worked for 6 years on a peg cam.
Yeah.
And she's not in her 30s. And
No.
that brought my theory out that the younger generations underneath us didn't waste their 20s, at least like I did. Did you waste your 20s?
What do you mean by waste?
Like, don't remember them.
So wasted?
Yes. Like, didn't do anything. I had odd jobs. I wasn't thinking about my career.
I did. I was very aware.
Of your career?
Yeah.
Wow.
My family, though, was very, like, from day one, was like, you're either going to Yale or Brown. I went to Michigan. I couldn't get into Yale or Brown. And you will be
You're
like,
either going to Yale or you're a safety school.
Yeah,
All
right. Brown. And you will be working at your career constantly. And you will be doing it. And you will be paying mostly your own
But
way.
you
I
worked
did
in like a bridal boutique. You did makeup.
Oh
like,
yeah, I did a gazillion jobs, but all of them were I worked so hard to get them. And what's weird is
Michael's standing there.
Oh, I just want to see the Poitier is next.
Oh, got it.
Yes.
We heard. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's weird is I worked so hard to on my resume and all of that with each job. And you're right. I probably could have gone relaxed a little.
I don't think.
Although I worked really.
I think I would have been better off if I didn't relax.
Yeah, you're needing more discipline. I think.
I needed a Hail Mary at 36 to get my life together.
We need you. Welcome back to DBL. One of the great ones, Sidney Poitier, has passed away. He was 94 years old. He was the first African American to win an Oscar for Best Actor in 1963, Lilies of the Field. CNN calls him Hollywood's first black movie star. He had an amazing 71-year career. Poitier was best known for films like A Raisin in the Sun, In the Heat of the Night, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. He was the lone black leading man in the 1960s, and he faced all sorts of pressures and scrutiny. And he told Oprah in 2000, quote, "It's been an enormous responsibility, and I accepted it. And I lived in a way that showed how I respected that responsibility. I had to, in order for others to come behind me." Wow. So, Mr. Poitier, what did he mean to you? Lindsay, we have you with us as well. I want to get your take on that. What did Mr. Poitier mean to you, Al?
Yeah, I obviously I've been just going down a rabbit hole, and I called my mom and spoke with her, but just the word that keeps coming up is dignity, and he gave people their dignity. And I think that him getting his flowers now, I know a lot of people say, well, he's passed on, he can't hear it, but I think he knows. I think we all know the trailblazer that he was, and the reason that I'm sitting here, the reason that Halle Berry won an Oscar, the reason that Denzel won an Oscar, there had to be the first guy, the Jackie Robinson of film.
You're right.
And a lot of times, Jackie Robinson doesn't get talked about as much as we talk about Barry Bonds or another. But we wouldn't be doing any of this if it wasn't for the trailblazers that took all the arrows coming through the door. So he would be missed.
Well said, Al. Lindsay, that was really beautiful. What do you think, Linz?
And when you think about the time that he was an actor, during the civil rights movement and beyond, and how his movies explored racial tensions, like Al said, I called my mom too immediately, because even though I wasn't watching the movies or born at that time, she still was always telling me and watching old films with me, so I understood what an impact he had on the entire entertainment field, which we're all a part of. I mean, movies like In the Heat of the Night or Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, they all explored these ideas that were very taboo at the time and uncomfortable, real time in actual ways. And I think he pushed the conversation forward and, like Al said, opened the door for so many people of color. So he'll be missed by a lot of people.
He will. And just really quickly, I called my mom when she was 21 studying abroad in France. She was alone at the Louvre. She looked over and there was this most dignified man, and it was him. And she said, "That is Sidney Poitier." She went over, he signed her book, and then they went and looked at Impressionist art together.
Oh my goodness.
And I just can't imagine.
That's a beautiful story.
I mean, and he was lovely. And then people started to recognize him, and he said, I have to get going. But that's a memory that, I hope to keep with me too. What an amazing man. They called him Mr. Tibbs. What a great man. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Dirty Jobs' Mike Rowe. He tells us the moment he realized Dirty Jobs was more than just a show. Stay tuned for this one.
Are you on?
User and journalist Allison Hall posted a video of herself receiving a negative result after swabbing her nose, then a positive result after swabbing her throat. Her positive result was confirmed by a PCR test. Then the hashtag #SwabYourThroat popped up on Twitter in recent days. So, is a throat swab better at detecting Omicron than a nasal swab? Our sources: the FDA, the University of Hong Kong, South Africa's National Health Laboratory Service, and US-based epidemiologists and researchers. This one needs context. A group of U.S. researchers studied 30 people and found saliva tests or throat swabs picked up a positive result before nasal swab did. The study, which hasn't been peer-reviewed or published, concluded Omicron is better detected by saliva. A study from South Africa, which also hasn't been peer-reviewed or published, showed throat swabs detected all Omicron cases, but 71% of Delta infections, while nasal swabs detected 86% of Omicron infections, but 100% of Delta cases. Throat swabs are used in other countries in combination with nasal swabs to test for COVID-19. But in America, the FDA stands by nasal swabs, pointing to the sheer number of cases already detected by the method. The FDA adding it can be complicated to self-administer a throat swab and can cause false positives as you're not supposed to eat or drink 30 minutes before. Epidemiologist Eric Fagel-Ding telling Today it's not that an at-home test won't pick up Omicron in the noses when swabbing there, it just might pick it up a half a day or a day later. So there's evidence to support a throat swab showed positive results for Omicron faster, but there's also evidence to show nasal swabs work well for the majority of people.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates, there's sense and there's nonsense.
Where do we go?
Hot celebs.
We're like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
And all the laughs. DBL is all new every day. Welcome back, fans. Just love watching him get dirty. We were lucky enough to sit down with the face of dirty jobs, the hilarious Mike Rowe. Check it out. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it. He is a renaissance man in the world of underground jobs that many don't know even exist. And if you didn't know, he's also hysterically funny. Please welcome the driest of dry, Mike Rowe. Mike, it's so good to see you. How are you?
Man?
No pressure. Wow, now I have to be hysterical at this hour?
But
okay,
also the driest of dry. See, that we gave you two jobs.
Two dirty jobs. That's exactly right. All right, for our viewers who may not
Excellent.
know.
I'm up for it.
That's good. You grew up on a farm. So what was your first dirty job?
I grew up on a small farm, but only 3 miles from Baltimore City. We had access to about 80 acres that nobody could develop. We didn't own it, so I had a chance to grow up, with some room and a lot of work to do. We had a wood stove. Our whole house was heated by wood. And so my whole life as a kid revolved around going back into the woods, taking a tree, cutting it up, splitting the wood, stacking the wood, bringing the wood down, feeding the stove. That was like from 9 years old, that's what I did. Wow. That, and I picked up horse crap every day.
Really
that was it. That was my life.
I do want to ask you about this. I love what you say about the people and the nature of the work that they do on dirty jobs, because a lot of people are like, ew, that's so gross, whatever. And you always say, no, these people are people that hold up our country. Can you speak a little bit on that? I love your take on that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good summation. A lot of the most important work that gets done in our country happens out of sight and out of mind. So the whole point of dirty jobs was just to get our cameras in places where cameras normally don't go and treat the people we meet like Access Hollywood would treat Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's what we do. It's not even a show, to be honest with you. There's no acting, there's no writing, there's no production, there's no pre-production, there's no second takes, right? We never do a second take on dirty jobs. So what you get as a viewer is a really honest look at a hard day's work through the eyes of an apprentice.
I think about like your show, and I think about a lot of people that I know, and I feel like a lot of us, especially the people like me that kind of came of age in the late 90s, we were pushed towards college, but I think a lot of my friends, male, female, however they identify, would have liked to have worked with their hands had they been given the option, but I didn't even know that was a real thing at that point.
Yeah, vocational jobs.
Exactly. It's a big deal, and that's why you've been on dirty jobs forever. And that's why I wanted to ask you, has there been a standout moment that made you say, how did I get here?
Well, they all cross the line. But the moment when I realized the show was more than a show was in 2008, when our country went into a recession. And all of a sudden, I started getting calls from reporters from the Wall Street Journal asking me to weigh in on things like the skills gap and unemployment and college debt. And it was interesting, I think, because all of a sudden people began to see me as a guy who had access to a lot of these different jobs. Now, I'm not an expert on any of this, but I realized I did have a seat at the grown-up table. I'm producing a show that people like, but I'm also running a foundation that is trying to do something for our workforce, which at the moment is terribly out of balance.
It is. Mike Rowe for 2024. I mean, this is just wonderful conversation. I know, I'm just kidding. If you couldn't keep, on the lighter side, if you couldn't keep this job, let's say it went away and you had to take on one of the many dirty jobs you've done, is there one that you felt like you'd be best for?
If you think back to your first day on a job, any job, when you go home after that, you don't think, boy, I've got it. Yep. I could do it. You're unsettled. It's weird. You don't know where anything is. You just met a whole bunch of people. You don't know what they, right? So it's.
Tori's
I
like
never
that now,
think
and she's
of
been here 5
the individual
years.
job.
So
right.
rude. Stop it, Mike.
Sorry. I'm just saying. You know what? Taro farmer is the answer. I could farm taro on Hawaii.
Whoa.
Yes. That was a beautiful day.
That sounds like you just have low blood pressure doing that job.
Yeah, and it could be Mike Taro.
No.
Nice. It could.
No.
I'll take care of the jokes.
Thank you so much, Mike, for that enlightening conversation. DBL Nation, Dirty Jobs airs Sundays on Discovery and streaming on Discovery Plus. One of my favorite dudes ever. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Pandemic, the government offered many programs to help Americans get by, including boosted unemployment benefits, stimulus checks, and paid sick leave. But what federal help is gone for good, and what's here to stay? Our sources for these questions: the Department of Labor, the White House, the Department of Education, and the IRS. First, let's take a look at unemployment benefits. According to the Department of Labor, back in September, the federal government stopped the extra $300 checks for people on unemployment. So we can verify that no, you will not get boosted unemployment benefits this year. Next, will you still get stimulus checks in 2022? As part of President Biden's $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan signed into law in March of 2021, many Americans saw a third stimulus check for up to $1,400. As of now, no other stimulus checks have been announced. Will Americans continue to see student loan relief in the new year? According to the U.S. Department of Education, an extension of the pause on student loan payments, interest, and collections will go until May 1st, 2022. The Department of Education says the extension will allow the administration to assess the impacts of the Omicron variant on borrowers and provide additional time for borrowers to plan for payments to resume. So we can verify that, yes, Americans will continue to see student loan relief for at least part of the new year. And finally, will parents still receive an enhanced monthly child tax credit this year? The American Rescue Plan increased the child tax credit to as much as $3,600 per child in 2021. According to the IRS, automatic monthly payments went out to parents on the 15th of every month, but those payments stopped in December. According to Congress, the Build Back Better legislation would extend enhanced child tax credits. If it's not passed, then those payments will not resume, and the child tax credit will drop back down to $2,000 per child.
When it comes to making a flu vaccine each year, scientists are forced to make an educated guess. There are several strains of influenza, and they have to predict which strains will be the most prevalent. Then a vaccine is made to fight against those strains. On average, over the last decade, the flu shot has been around 43% effective, meaning people who got the vaccine were 43% less likely to get sick. Unfortunately, this year, it appears the flu vaccine is a mismatch to the strain that is circulating. Research out of the University of Pennsylvania found the major strain, H3N2, has mutated in a way that makes the shot less effective against it. The lead researcher told CNN it is a major mismatch, which could explain why we are seeing flu outbreaks across the country. So why are doctors still telling everyone to get a flu shot this year? Well, the research shows that while the shot may not prevent you from getting sick, it looks like it will prevent serious illness from that strain. In fact, it has been shown consistently that seasonal flu vaccines prevent hospitalizations and deaths, even in years when the vaccine does not match the outbreak. So, it's still a good idea to roll up your sleeve and get the flu shot.
Welcome back. Mailers beware. Counterfeit stamps are sweeping the country. So it's time for
very slowly.
It's time for a security alert. Stop it. Sponsored by LifeLock. According to the post office, fake stamp sites are popping up all over Facebook. The most common counterfeit stamp is the U.S. flag one, and it's sold in bulk for less. So just remember, a first-class forever stamp costs 58 cents. Anything less is likely fake. If your information has been breached, LifeLock is here to help. Call 1-800-261-1089 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. All right, one last story before we go. This TikTok has gone viral showing a 6-year-old doing chores. So he gets up at 6 a.m. Oh, good stretch. He lint rolls his clothes before getting dressed and he makes himself his own breakfast. But he's not done. He then cleans the toilet. He then scrubs down the shower. He does the laundry. He vacuums his bed. He sweeps the floor, he cleans his little shoes, takes out the trash. Lindsay, is this cray-cray or is this good parenting?
You know what? I really appreciate a good chore that a kid does. I was still watching the video. It's hilarious because he's doing so much like cleaning the toilets and all that stuff. That was like more the intense chores at that age from my parents. I was more like a clothes folding, washing dishes type. But, if that's her parenting, I'm slow to judge anybody on how they want to parent their kids.
Lindsay, I'm judging. I don't know if I like this.
Why?
Because he woke up and lit his own personal fireplace in his room like he's a reclusive billionaire. Like, what kid does that? I don't like. That's very strange.
I will just say I'm studying Buddhism, as you all know, and Pema Chodron always told me the Buddha, when you're stressed, says chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water.
Or light your fake electronic fireplace.
I'm just saying chores can give you a moment.
No, Tori, connect the dots. What are you talking about? Chop wood, carry water for a kid cleaning a toilet.
Let me connect the dots. Chores can make you have a moment in the present. You are quite mindful when you sweep. You just kind of let your mind go. It's very meditative.
He also cleaned his Jordans off and left the house by himself. I think this is more about his parents.
So you didn't want to go like the Buddhist
Where are the parents in this?
They're filming. They're filming.
I don't know if I think a kid should be a kid for a little bit.
But Al, it's hard to I learned this the hard way, that it's very hard to keep your house organized when you have a kid.
So
it's
use a 6-year-old.
Almost impossible. And so maybe the kid is helping out and just sees how hard it is for his mom and dad and wants to be helpful.
Lindsay, did you see where they live? First of all, if Kinsley got up in 6 years and was doing this, you and Colin would have a very hushed conversation in the kitchen. Like, Kinsley's being weird. She's cleaning the toilet thoroughly every morning. What is that?
Maybe
vacuuming her bed. Stop. Be a 6-year-old for a little while.
I hear you. All right.
Throw some stuff around.
Throw some stuff around. Light that stuff.
Get some silly string.
All right. Well, let us know what you think. DBL's new every day. It was good to see you, Linz. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place. Stay safe, y'all.